So, ladies and gentlemen, all of the tricksters from the second YouTube channel where I upload these videos and VODs, welcome to another VOD review. Today, on the coaching table, we have a Gold 2 Omen main, big brain Omen player, called Fatso from Great Britain, England. He is playing solo queue on Fracture, and today I'm going to be teaching you some tips and tricks with Omen on Fracture and seeing what he can actually improve. If you want to get a free VOD review, join my Discord server, because on every 50 Twitch subs I'm organizing giveaways, and you can enter the giveaway, win a VOD review, and we are all happy. Now, let's see his tracker. And let's actually see what he says to me. So, the main issue I see in my games is my movement positioning, as I put myself in awkward positions, and I end up getting killed a lot, which could have been preventable. Also, during post-play or defending, I don't think things through. Plus, my map awareness is lacking, and I end up dying kind of early during the rounds. My performance is also not very consistent throughout the games. A lot of the problems. When it comes to positioning, like, you know, that's the problem of game decisions. Like, essentially, that's why VOD reviews are so important. And map knowledge is very important. And understanding every single possible scenario in Valorant is very important. So that you understand, especially with Omen. Like, with Omen, I really feel that your positioning, movement, and utility placement needs to be top-notch. Like, essentially, you need to have such a huge game knowledge and extremely high, like, understanding of how to play every single scenario if you want to reach Radiant. But Omen is definitely one of the best characters to improve your overall positioning, movement, map awareness. Like, you can be whatever the fuck you want to be, like, literally with Omen. Now, when it comes to playing Omen on Fracture, generally speaking, Omen is not that good on Fracture. Brimstone is the Giga Chad of Fracture, but I do recommend players up to Immortal 1 to play Omen and to carry the games with Omen, because it's just a bit easier. You know, like, you can still be an aggressive player, passive player. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Much better than playing Brimstone in, you know, gold lobby. Like, God forbid that. And after Immortal 1, I always recommend players, unless you're a very exceptional Omen player that has a lot of hours on Omen, I would recommend you to switch to Brimstone. You know, no matter how much I like and love this character, after Immortal 1, you need to play Brimstone, basically. You get killed a lot, which can be preventable. Okay, we'll see that. During post-play or defending, I don't think things through. Plus, my map awareness is lacking. Okay, let's see what he's doing. When it comes to his tracker, this act, he's not that bad, to be honest. Like, 54% win rate. He is doing quite well on Omen. Like, 1.01 KD is fine. You know, it's not that bad. It's actually okay. You know, these statistics for a gold player are not that bad, but considering that he's playing in gold, probably he can carry these lobbies a bit better and a bit harder, to be honest. With Fade, you're also good. Not bad. KD, fine. You know, like, for an average, like, gold player that is hardstyle gold, like, okay. But I feel that, you know, you in these lobbies, you really need to carry a bit harder and to clutch up important rounds for your teammates. Make sure that you're closing out the rounds, playing on the refrag potential, trying to find your teammates that are in the highest chances of death, basically, and locating who should you support at every single moment of time. Statistics, okay. You know, on Pearl, you can also play Omen all the way up to Immortal 1. Like, you don't need to fill in the Phoenix. Like, what the fuck was this game with Phoenix? For example, if you already enjoy playing Fade and Omen, I would simply recommend you that on... What the fuck, man? You're actually playing Fade on Bind instead of Omen? Blasphemy, bro. What? Bro, Omen is the best agent on Bind, literally. I mean, to be fair, like, you have 8-1 on Bind with Fade. Like, you know, keep doing you. If Fade is working for you on Bind this good, keep playing Fade. I have nothing against it. I just feel that Bind is absolutely the best map for Omen. Like there is no, like, the amount of outplays, the amount of things that you can do on this map is insanity with Omen. Ascent, not bad, very good score. On Split, you're really bad, bro. Like on Split, what I would recommend you is definitely to watch some of my previous VOD reviews. Like, I feel that with Omen on Split, you can have like 70% win rate quite easily. Like, especially on the attacker side. I know that in lower elo lobbies, Split on the attack is like hell of a time. But I feel that, you know, if you watch some of my previous VOD reviews on Split, like, and I apply some of the strategies and tactics, like, this win rate should be a bit higher. And on Pearl, like, I don't understand. You love playing Fade on Bind, but you play Omen on Pearl. What? Play Fade on Pearl as well. If you're already this good, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with a Fade on Bind to have like 8 wins and 1 losses, but if that is working for you, keep doing you. I would recommend you, in this case scenario, since you have 2 agents that you're maining, go Pearl, Fade, go Bind, Fade and Omen, Ascent, Fade and Omen depending on your team composition, Haven, Omen, Split, Omen, Lotus, Fade and Omen depending on the team composition, and on Fracture, Fade or Omen depending on your team composition. Especially on Fracture, like, I really feel that Omen, you know, you need to apply a very specific mindset, very specific outplays, and you need to consistently observe what the fuck your teammates are doing and supporting them with your utility and your presence 24/7. And on Fracture, on a defender side, you need to learn how to op. Like, you need to abuse the operator with Omen in these lower elo lobbies. Like, it is so easy to get free kills because players have a shit utility usage in a lower elo lobbies. When I say lower elo lobbies, I mean everything below Immortal 1. Now, when it comes to like weapons, okay, it's a Vandal player, not bad. 36% headshot ratio for a gold player is very good. 142 ADR is also good. I don't know how Ghost is your second most used weapon and you're playing Omen. I mean, majority of the strategies that you're doing with Omen, you're either buying a classic shorty. Like, I don't think there's a single map where I buy a Ghost with Omen. Maybe if I'm pushing B set of Pearl. Then I buy the Ghost, 2 smokes and a Shrouded Step. Is there any other map I buy a Ghost? Fracture if you're pushing the dish in the first round. But I don't know why you're playing Ghost so much with Omen. Like you should be entering the bomb sets for your teammates in the first rounds. Like in the first round, if you're playing Omen, like you always do aggressive outplay. Like 1 smoke goes for your team, 1 smoke goes for your outplay, and you're always entering the site. Especially in the gold lobbies. I would not trust gold players with a penny, let alone entering the bomb site in an FPS tactical shooter. Like, come on, man. Also, ditch the Spectre. Spectre, shit weapon. Shit weapon! Stinger is better. Learn how to abuse the Stinger. Shorty needs to be much higher. You're an Omen player. You can destroy people with a Shorty. Where the fuck is your Shorty, man? Like, always as a second... Like, force yourself to play it. Like, I didn't learn all of this by not playing the game. By not playing the operator, by not playing the shorty. I learned everything through trial and error, and of course a bit of my previous FPS experience, but leave that alone. So, test things out. You know? Like, you won't become a master of something by not, you know... Like, in Valorant, it's very important that you become a master of every single weapon. Actually, you don't need to become a master, but the jack of all trades. You know, like, every single weapon... you should learn to play to some degree. Like, especially with some specific characters, like with Omen. You need to learn how to play Op, Shorty, Judge, Stinger, and how to abuse these 4 weapons. In Eco and Halbye rounds, you can be a machine. Like, you can literally win a round by just buying a Shorty, 2 smokes and 2 Shrouded Step for your team. And by not using that potential in a game, your eco rounds probably look, yeah, like absolute dog shit. But to be honest, your pistol rounds are even worse. And you know why? Because in the pistol rounds, you're buying a stupid Ghost. And you're playing a support character instead of a hyper-aggressive controller. Other than that, everything is fine. Like, I have nothing to shit about, to be honest. Let's see, performance. Okay. Consistent improvement. You didn't spend that much time in the game, to be honest. You know, like, you started like 3 episodes ago. You went from unranked to gold 2, which is good, but you need to put in a bit more hours. I really feel that based on your overall headshot ratio and some other statistics, if you just grind one act for, let's say, 200 hours, I think you can go easily from gold to diamond. Just based on your statistics on the tracker. Like, just one act, make sure that you play 3 matches per day, every single day, and I guarantee you, without any coaching, without anything, with this performance, on Omen and Fade, I feel you can go from gold to diamond 1, without any problems. But let's see what are your real problems in the game. Okay, not bad, not bad. I'm satisfied with the tracker. Really okie dokie tracker for a gold player. Not the best, not the worst, you know. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, Fracture first round. I don't know how many times I'm going to like repeat this shit, but I need to repeat it every single time until you guys start to think like me. Until you guys play the game with a charlatan in your brain. So, Fracture. First round, attacker side. This is your main area of the map. This is your main area of the map. This is your lurking, flanking, and optional area of the map. This is your lurking, flanking, and optional area of the map. Even though this is called B main, Valorant has tricked you, and that is not a main area of the map. That is like, this is arcade, this is main. Why? Because pushing through this area of the map, especially in the lower elo lobbies, is hell of a fucking time. Through this choke point, right here. So every single match, you want to start with a mindset. I want to first to test the enemies in arcade, and then test the enemies in A main, and see how they're playing there. And then we're using the B main and this area of the map if we really need to do that, or to mix strategies a bit, you know, like to maybe surprise the enemies, see what they're doing, etc, etc. Now, B site is your default site. What that means for us, that means that B site is harder for the retake, easier for the post plant, and B site is easier for the attack, harder for defense. But only if we are abusing primarily the arcade area of the map. So the spike should primarily go here, and the spike should primarily go here, and these two areas of the maps we should consider as a main areas of the maps, while this is a lurking, flanking, splitting areas of the map. With that being said, the absolutely best strategy on Fracture in the first 3 rounds is obviously pushing the arcade area of the map as 5. Like, tell your teammates, hey guys, let's push as 5, pick up the spike, force your teammates to come with you, because if you pick up the spike, your teammates are gonna listen to you. That's what I do in every single series. Like, you will see that when I start the first round, I make sure that I load in, and instantly I'm running towards the spike, picking up the spike, bam, I'm going arcade, and I'm yelling, guys, let's go 5 arcade. Maybe they're gonna listen to you, maybe not, who the fuck cares? I'm carrying the spike through the arcade. Like, this is the easiest area of the map for you to contest the enemies in the first round, where the least amount of the enemies play in the first round, and also where you will meet the least amount of utility from the enemies. Now, how should your push look like? So basically with Omen in the first round on Fracture, but by the way, when you're doing this split, it's completely fine that maybe 4 or 5 of your teammates go through the arcade, and maybe having one of your teammates go through the B main area of the map for some kind of a cheeky, you know, lurk flank. But on this lurk, primarily I would send someone like Chamber, Reyna, some shit character, you know, like someone that is not important for my push through the arcade. Now, in the first round, so we're picking up the spike, and I'm buying a light shield, classic, 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps. We're pushing this fast. Immediately as the round starts, you're positioning this smoke, bam, bam, jump spotting enemies here, peeking this, jump spotting enemies there, bam. I'm pushing in, pushing in, pushing in, pushing in, pushing in, pushing in, taking the side control, entering the tower, killing the enemies on the tower. So, in the first round, essentially, we're doing our default smokes here and here. We're choosing this pathing to outplay the enemies on the site and tower. And basically, in the first round, I would never push straight forward tower. Why? Because enemies can be there with a shorty. Enemies can fuck you up on the tower with some kind of a stupid killjoy or cypher setup. You don't want to get in a trap. Make the sandwich out of the tower together with your teammates that are going through the arcade. Now, next topic. If you are afraid to maybe do this, you know, like this push by the feet, you know, like just running, ba 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 ba, no problem. You can also place this smoke like this smoke like this, and then you can teleport here, clear the box, bam, here, and then from this position, ba ba booey, ba ba ba, and then ba 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 ba. Yeah, ba ba ba. So now, if we win the first round, in the second round I would repeat the same strategy. Just remember that whenever enemies are eco or half buy, like whenever enemies have lower economy than you, you should never push onto the tower first. And you should never contest the enemies onto the tower before you actually take the B site control. Like, try to make the sandwich out of the enemies on tower. So if I win the first round, in the second round, I'm probably gonna buy a Stinger, Heavy Shield, Shorty, and my utility, and tell to my teammates, hey guys, let's push arcade again. That was a great strategy. I'm doing the smoke here, doing the smoke here. I'm saving my flash for the bomb site. Ba ba ba, ba ba ba, ba ba ba, ba. Ba 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 ba. Simple as that. Now, if you lose the first round, then whenever I am eco or half buy, you can actually push onto the tower. Or if both you and the enemies are playing a full buy round. So only when I am eco, half buy, both of us are playing the full buy rounds, or like essentially like the only time that you should avoid pushing the tower first and making some kind of an aggression on tower is like when enemies are eco and half buy and when you're playing the first round. That's it. Like only in those rounds, just avoid pushing the tower. Focus yourself on taking the bomb site control primarily, and then the second focus is tower, third focus is the arcade control. End of the story. Fuck it. Now, what if you lose the first round on Fracture? Then in a second round, I will do the same strategy. I will buy a shorty, 2 smokes, and a shrouded step. What can we do? We can do a smoke here, so that our teammates can easily close the gap with the enemies in the generator, on the bomb site, and here. And I will use 1 smoke here, like this. Then, jump spotting the enemies, ba ba ba, into this cubby position that we created with the smoke, and then ba ba, ba ba, killing the enemy on the tower. If the enemy is not on the tower, no problem. We'll be jump spotting the enemies on the site, seeing where they play, and trying to outmaneuver them in some other way. Maybe we can wait for our smoke to recharge. Then when the smoke recharge, like, we can do some kind of a play like this. Close the gap with the enemies. Ba ba ba. You get the point. You get the point. So let's see what our friend Fatso is going to do on the Fracture. By the way, all of these plays and everything that I do on the Fracture with Omen will be explained in my ranked playbook for the Omen. This is just a free VOD review. I'm not gonna go so much in depth, you know. Let's see what he's doing. Oh, Jesus, El Christos, man. Is he playing with the music in the background? Bro, the guy has the Chernobyl meter, you know, like... like, what the fuck is this? Listen to this, guys. The guy is living in Chernobyl, bro. Like, Geiger meter, bro. Like, what is going on? Okay, listen. In the first round, on the attacker side of Fracture, don't allow your teammates to do some random fucking strategy. Take the spike. Tell them, guys, let's push the fucking arcade. Okay? And definitely on Fracture, even if I'm pushing A side, in the first round, I'm not gonna buy a ghost. Like, you really need to focus with Omen in the first round to do some kind of an aggressive play and to essentially push into the bomb site. Take the control of the round in your own hands. You know? You're not gonna take the control of the round by playing a ghost on Fracture. Oh, okay. One big rule for every single player in Valorant, ever. First round on attacker's side should never, ever be some kind of splitting, lurking, flanking, playing default, playing slow, anything. First round should be played as a 5-man aggressive push towards one specific objective. Why? Because of multiple different reasons that I've explained enormous amount of times in my VOD reviews. Enormous amount of times. But the main reason is because the attacker side players have the advantage over the defender side players as long as you're navigating your teammates. As long as you're navigating your teammates towards an area of the map that makes most amount of sense on that specific map. And on Fracture, that is the arcade area of the map. So never, ever default in the first round. That is the absolutely worst shit you can do in solo queue. Because right now, what are we risking here? We're risking that our Raze and Jet are gonna die like potatoes. Even splitting the bomb sites is not worth it in the first round. Reyna and Cypher can die like this from some kind of a sheriff. Like, especially in the lower elo lobbies. You have absolutely no idea what your teammates are gonna do, how good or bad they are, and it is much easier for me to save their lives and to protect them and allow them to push something if we are pushing together. And essentially, that's it. Like, just push together. Let's go. No, this guy just he just went for the, you know, like, orb.
Cover going out.
Okay, that tower smoke is okay.
Shadows traveling.
Good city smoke. I'm very surprised, but you have a really good smoke setup right here. I'm gonna give you a quick explanation of the smoke setups on A set of Fracture. So if your teammates are pushing only through the A main area of the map, so we're doing this type of a push. You should be doing this type of a smoke setup. One smoke goes here, like this. One smoke goes here, like this. And we are making a smoke screen to push into the site. So this is the smoke setup when we're pushing only through the A main area of the map. Now, if we're pushing from the main and from the dish, we're smoking this and this. So we are smoking the sand, smoking the CT, fighting for this full map control right here, and be aware that enemies can be on this position right here. So in this situation, what you should have done is the smoke in sand and smoke here, because all of your teammates are pushing through the A main and dish area of the map. Now, if your teammates are splitting this area of the map completely, essentially, your teammates are pushing through here, and through here. Like, you have at least one of the teammates in all three of these positions doing this type of a push. You should be smoking CT and smoking the tower position. And if your teammates are pushing through the main area of the map and through the sand, so through here and through here, you always want to smoke the dish and smoke the CT. Leave the tower open and just flash the tower, or tell your teammates to nade it, or just be aware that enemies can be on tower. Unfortunately, Omen has only 2 smokes and you cannot cover everything for you. But the dish is far more important than tower, unfortunately. So, in essence, these are your smoke setups with Omen on the attacker side of, Fracture. You should not be doing your smokes as soon as the round starts. Pay attention on the minimap, look how your teammates are pushing, and, position your smokes depending on how your teammates are pressuring the A site. In this example, we should have a smoke CT and the sand. But heaven can see this though. So what? Like you want to tell me that smoking this? Okay, we're pushing through. Let's debate. You want to tell me that when you're pushing through here and pushing through here, it is better to have this smoke and this smoke, leaving this angle, for the enemies. What would I risk my teammates dying from 5 different positions while I can just, pay attention on this position here with this type of a setup? Now, I only need to be aware that enemies can be on the heaven here. My teammates don't need to look at, down. Well, this is an interesting teleport. Okay. Listen, guys. If you have the numbers advantage, like your teammates make the numbers advantage, don't make any unnecessary plays. Don't TP into unknown territory. One of the biggest rules that I give to the players that I'm coaching in my private session is the following. Important numbers in Valorant. So, 5v1, 5v2, 5v3, 4v1, 4v2, 4v3, 2v1, actually 3v1, 3v2, and 2v1. When you have this type of numbers in the game, stay away from using any unnecessary utility that might F you up based on timings or luck or something like that. So essentially, when you have these type of numbers in the game, we consider these numbers as a true numbers advantage. What does that mean for you? You want to play clean gunfights and focus only on refrag potential. So essentially, when you have these type of numbers in the game, I would not be using any type of a risky teleport, risky smoke, or anything that might split my teammates into 1 versus 1 gunfights, or allow the enemies to fuck me or my teammates up based on timings. Like, what you should do is only focus on clean gunfights and making sure that you are ready to refrag your allies. End of the story. Here, if I was playing instead of him, what I would do is the following. I would have used the teleport to spot the enemies on the A site, like in the same way that we're using the jet dash to reveal the enemies. I would use my Omen teleport to reveal the enemies on the site, and then I will make sure that I'm inside of the enemy smoke, ready to support my jet, and ready to peek out together with my teammates, and play the cleanest gunfights ever, preserving the numbers and making sure that we're playing on a refrag potential.
Here's
planted
smoke.
the spike.
Oh.
Here.
Charlatan, what is your rapid fire setting on booting if possible? Same as Optimum Tech. Do you know the Optimum Tech guy? I copy pasted his settings and they work really good for me.
Camera taken out.
Shadows traveling.
I just want to tell you that this is maybe the worst post-plan position that you can take, because if you take a gunfight with the enemies, you have nowhere to reposition, and whenever you're in a 2 versus 2 scenario, you want to play on the lower ground together with your teammate. It's going to be easier for you to refrag your ally, to peek the gunfights that he's peeking, and you're not going to be overexposed from so many different angles. Like in this scenario, I would have played the post plant below the site and not on top of the site. I avoid the top of the site as much as possible, essentially. And also, like, you know, I don't know, this position is really fucked up.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, we won this round. I saw you smoke the box on sand once. Why was that? For tower or one way? It was a one way on a defender side or something like that. But the smoke on the box of the sand, you did it once. Which smoke? You mean this smoke here?
Cover going out.
That smoke? It's okay. You know, like, sometimes, you know, you can do this smoke
Going out.
instead of this smoke here. When you're pushing like through the A main area of the map and drop. Like, this smoke is okay. Like, it's okay. The problem of this smoke is that, you know, this should be your default smoke when you're playing Astra, when you're playing Brimstone. You know, when you're pushing through the main area of the map and send. But the problem of Omen smoke is that Omen smoke is much smaller, you know, than Brimstone and Astra. Like, with Brimmy, you can just do this. Where the fuck is the box? I don't see it because of my saturation. Smoke there and smoke this. Good job, man. Actually, it's the same shit, to be honest. Like, I don't know. It's okay, but I really feel that, you know, smoking this and this is just better. I don't know. You know, this smoke here, maybe I'm gonna use in a post plant, or if the enemy is stuck behind this box, you know? But not as my default smokes to push the site. I don't know. I don't like it. Too many angles from which enemies can kill your teammates. Okay.
You see? They're flawed. Ordinary.
Now, another rule for you guys. Whenever enemies are eco and half buy on both on the defender side, yell at your teammates. Tell them, guys, I have a great idea. Let's push something together. Let's not give enemies individual duels where they can fight us in a 50-50 gunfight, and enemy Reyna can kill us all with a sheriff. Overheal, take our guns, and win this round. So, whenever enemies are eco, bonus, or half buy on a defender's side, navigate your teammates to play together. 5-man push A side, 5-man push B side. Arcade, A main area of the map. Fuck the dish, fuck the B main. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I was playing in a gold, platinum, diamond lobbies, players were listening to me much more than in immortal lobbies. I don't know, these players are usually waiting for some call, and they will follow you. They're like AI NPC. Literally, like they're like a bots in CSGO. I don't know, like whenever I was giving a call out in a gold lobby, when I was doing my Iron to Radiant series, these guys listened to me like much more than immortal players. Like gold, platinum, silver, diamond, and Radiant players listen to me like 90% of the times. While Ascendant and Immortal players are NPCs that are playing against you. Like in Immortal and Ascendant lobbies, you're playing 1 versus 9, not 5 versus 5. You just didn't read the rules of the game properly. Charlatan, I used your sense guide and I dropped 31st game. Easy. Let's call guys who want to cooperate NPCs. Bro, like, I don't know what to say, man, but when I'm playing Valorant, like, I feel like I'm not playing with real people, man. Nice spray, man. Valorant tracker is not bannable, right? No, it's not bannable.
Blow something up.
I don't know. This is a very fucked up mindset that players have in solo queue. Like, and you know, this is a Valorant problem. Like, this is not your main area of the map. Like, this is not the main area of the map. This is not the main area of the map. This is not the main area of the map. I need to make some kind of a lo-fi music, you know, like for you to listen when you play Fracture. This is not the main area of the map. This is not the main area of the map.
This is not the main area of the map. B main is not the main area of the map. B main is not the main area of the map. Arcade is main area of the map. Arcade is the main area of the map. A main is the area, you know.
Like, bro, fuck this shit. It is 10 times easier to push B-side through the arcade area of the map and to take control of this area and to take control of the tower and site than pushing the B main area of the map. Like, enemies here, drop a smoke, you're fucked. Enemies there, drop a Molotov, you're fucked. Enemy Cypher has a setup, your teammates are probably fucked. Enemy Jet is peeking with the operator, probably you're fucked. Enemy Jet is playing some kind of a good off angle or peeking your teammates from here, probably you're fucked. All of that can happen in the B arcade, but less likely. And it's easier to clear the angles, one by one. And it's easier to flash the enemies. It's easier to stun the enemies. It's easier to outplay the enemies.
Cover going.
I mean, with the Omen, when you're pushing arcade, for example, even if you just do this, you're putting a lot of the pressure onto the enemies. Like flashing the enemies like this, bam, and teleporting here. That's it. You clear the box, you can kill the enemy. There, bam, bam, you're entering the site. Pre-assuming that, you know, you already placed your default smokes. Easy, much easier. Bro, this knife is orgasm, man. Bro, this is so good. I like it a lot. Even though I feel gay, I feel very gay using this, but it looks really good. Good smoke setup. Okay, what? Another tip. Another tip. Big tip. Look, listen here, guys. So, never, ever go for the spike plant before you clear the site. Dodge enemy's utility. Or fight every single gunfight that your teammates are taking. So, you should never go for the spike plant before you clear every single fucking location from which you can die and where the enemies can be on the site. Every single one of them. Before every single gunfight is fought with your teammates. And if the Sova is doing the ultimate, if you're burning in the Nanoswarm, if you're burning in the Brimstone Molly, get the fuck out, plant the spike later. It is 10 times better to fall back and regroup and then reheat that same site or other site again together on the numbers than losing your life for planting a stupid spike. Like, you should never die while you're planting the spike. That death is stupid. The only time when that death is justifiable is in two scenarios. You're playing an eco round, and you need to win that round based on timer, and you want to plant the spike as soon as possible, or if you just don't have any more time to plant the spike. You know, like you just need, there's like 10 seconds on the clock, you need to plant the spike, basically. Otherwise, if you have 1 minute, and how much? 1 minute and 26 seconds to plant the spike, clear the box. Expect the enemies to maybe peek through the smokes. Expect the enemies to be on the tower. Expect the enemies to be in the arcade. Clear the arcade, clear the tower, clear the site, clear the stupid box, plant the spike. Especially in this position, planting the spike is very risky right now, because enemies can peek you through the smoke, one tap you with a sheriff, and then you're relying on your teammates to plant the spike. To basically win this round, not to plant the spike.
There. Reload.
Spike planted.
Teammates will start shouting at you to plant, and it makes me nervous. Mute them. Tell them they're stupid. Tell them Charlatan told me to mute you and just carry them. If they want to die while planting the spike, let them die. That is why, like, you know, when my teammates are going for the spike plant, I always make sure that I protect them fully. Like, I always make sure that I clear every single possible angle from which they can die. And if I notice that my teammates didn't clear the full site and took the full site control, I'll make sure that, you know, everything is clear before they go for the spike plant. What about if your team don't clear tower and rush spawn? Happens a lot on Fracture, to be honest. Clear it yourself. Flash the tower, jump spot the enemies on tower, you need to clear the tower. Like, basically, when you're pushing the, you know, in every round where the enemies are equal or hull buy, or both teams are full buy, like, your primary focus is taking the site control, number 1. Number 2 focus is taking the tower control, number 2. And that's it. And null control, I mean, it depends where you're pushing from, but essentially this should be your primary focus. Taking the control of this, and then you can, you know, maybe go into the CT, go into the, I don't know, canteen, try to surprise the enemies. Like, essentially, like, the only time when it is worth for you to pressure the enemies in the CT and try to go for the kills is if you're playing some kind of an eco round or a hull by round, or if you have a very low numbers. Like, if you're in the true numbers disadvantage. Like, if I'm 3 versus, let's say 2 versus 4, I'm gonna push CT as well. I'm gonna fuck the tower. Like, I need to find a kill potential. I need to isolate the enemies, isolate the numbers. But in this scenario where they just pushed in a eco round, like, you know, clear the site, plant the spike, that's it. How the fuck am I 40 minutes into a VOD review and I did like 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the VOD?
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Okay, next round. Now, in this bonus round, once again, I would have pushed arcade because I explained to you why I do the 3 rounds in a row. You know, why 3 rounds in a row I push arcade. Also, like, when you're pushing arcade, I mean, arcade area of the map, you can quite easily abuse in eco rounds, hull by rounds, full by rounds. Essentially, it doesn't matter which round you're playing. Arcade area of the map, you can always take control of it. I mean, even if you don't manage to push into the site, you will take such a valuable area of the map where enemies will need to make some kind of a move, some kind of a play, some kind of a rotation, you know? And then maybe you can just fall back, you know, something like that. Outplay the enemies. But also, when you're playing bonus rounds and eco rounds, to be fair, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, the more... how can I construct this sentence? Like, it's better to be more unpredictable in these rounds and do something fucked up than play, you know, something that is along the lines of regular gameplay, you know. So basically, in these bonus rounds, eco rounds, hull by rounds, you can just do whatever the fuck you want, like, basically. But on Fracture, it just makes so much sense to abuse this area of the map in the first 3 rounds and to test the enemies here. And then in the 4th round, you become very unpredictable. You know? In the 4th round, enemies have no idea what you're gonna do. Imagine enemies push you 3 times in a row through the arcade. In the 4th round, you're like, should I defend the arcade? Are enemies gonna push this round? Maybe they're gonna fake me. You can do whatever the hell you want, you know? Now, but you see what they are doing. Their team right now is falling under something that we call the AB pattern of pushing. In the 1st round, they pushed A side. In the 2nd round, they pushed B. And in this 3rd round, if I was playing against them, I would be holding them with a Vandal in the dish area of the map and demolishing them with some kind of a pixel angle, stopping their push on the A side, or simply controlling the A main area of the map. Like, building unpredictable patterns of pushing on some maps is very important. Very, very important. What if they wall the arcade as soon as the round starts? Destroy the wall. Just destroy the wall instantly and that's it. What's the problem? Especially when you're playing Omen, that should not be a problem. No rotate, no rotato. Like, so let's say in the 1st round, I'm pushing arcade and the enemy sage walls me off. Whatever. I'll destroy the wall. Ba. I'll do the smokes, you know, already. My teammates are going in. I'll be doing this. That's it. I will still push. No rotation.
Shadows traveling. Cover going.
You see, you know, this is what I'm talking about. You need to be a bit more unpredictable with your style of pushing. And as I always say, in solo queue, being an IGL is maybe the most stupid thing you can do. It is impossible. Like, especially in regions that are not North America. But you still need to micromanage your teammates to the degree where you're not annoying, but you're just trying to navigate your teammates in a smart way. Tell them, guys, let's push Arcade together. Let's push A-main together. Let's Breach, can you flash me this? Can you stun me this, for an example? You don't need to give them some hardcore, high-level strategies, you know, like something that Wukujin pulls out, like, you know, the paint 10, and this is how the 10s plays in a VCT match. Like, that doesn't work in gold. Just simple call-outs, like map knowledge, you know? Unpredictable playstyle. End of the story. And adapt to what your teammates are doing. Also, one really good information that we got in the first 2 rounds is that the Deadlock is playing on the A site. So that means that the B site is being guarded by Jet, Brimstone, or Fade. If these 3 agents can stop your push to the arcade, I'm gonna cut off my balls right now, fry them, eat them, puke them, and eat them again. Okay, nice. Okay, NT. Here, you know, like, this is a bit of a problem of lower elo, you know, players when they're playing Omen. Whenever you get stunned, flashed, molotoved, stuck, in some kind of a danger, like, your natural reaction as an Omen player should be either to flash the enemies back or to teleport somewhere. Like, in this type of a scenario, the last thing that I would be doing is sitting in this corner. Like, there's, you know, like, this dog bit me right now. My instinct, like a Radiant player, would be to pull out the Shrouded Steps, or flash the enemies on tower, or I would be teleporting towards the safety into the holes. And that is some kind of an automatic pilot mode that you need to build over time as you're playing Omen. Like, the dog is coming towards me, I'm reloading the weapon, I cannot fight the enemies, bam. That's it. I would much rather die from a potential enemy that is in A main than dying than dying blinded here by the enemy's dog. Or I'll just pull out the flash the enemies back, and then maybe go for some kind of an outplay. Enemies are flashed. Here is my smoke. There's a huge potential that I might find a kill. But staying in the same position and trying to fight the enemies back when you have a 2 TPs and a flash available, maybe the worst game decision ever. By the way, like, I think this should be obvious, but the Omen teleport goes through the deadlock wall. I just hope it's obvious, you know, knowledge.
Remain.
Ooh, his teammates actually won this? What the fuck?
Let's go. Keep it up.
Flash the thing.
Enemy spotted B.
I like his setups. Like I like that he is doing very good default smokes for his teammates. But we have the same problem like we have with any other Omen player that I was VOD reviewing on this channel. So, yo, go, 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 go! Thank you all for the Prime Gaming sub, and thank you for scamming Jeff Bezos, baby. Much love, bro. Listen, when you're playing Omen, you cannot be this disconnected from your teammates when you're using your utility. Number one. That was the number one problem in this round. Like, if my teammates are pushing the B side, I'm pushing with them. So I'm pushing here, doing the first smoke, doing the second smoke, and I'm already here to support my teammates as they are there. Do we capiche each other? We understand everything? Good. So basically, in this example, like, you cannot be this disconnected from your allies as they're pushing the site.
Flash the thing.
Look at this. Like, you're standing like a cone in the spawn. And like you're playing General Command and Conquer. You know, like you're not, come on. This is a FPS tactical shooter. Like, move with your teammates. Move as you're doing the smokes.
Enemy spotted B.
This distance between you and the Reyna should never exist. Like, I would make, like, if I have aggressive teammates that love to push in, I will always make sure that I'm properly supporting my teammates with the smokes, with the flash, and that I'm able to refrag my most aggressive ally as best as I can. Now, second mistake, order of the smokes. When you're pushing into the B site, primarily through the B main area of the map, this should be your first smoke. This is your second smoke. When we are pushing onto the B side, through the canteen area of the map, this is your first smoke. This is your second smoke. Why? Come on, you can use your brain. It's obvious. Like, this is the first angle that your teammates are peeking. This is the second angle that your teammates are peeking. When you're pushing through the B main. When you're pushing through the arcade, this is the first angle that your teammates are peeking. This is the second angle. You definitely need to chill a bit more, like with these, you know, blind teleports. I know that you got Molotov here. You know, the Brimy did a Molotov, Raze pulled you in the satchel, but, you know, on both A side and B side of Fracture, we really don't have any like, any safe spots where you can teleport, you know, without dying. Like, every spot is kinda risky if you're not supporting yourself with a flash or with a smoke. Like, I don't know, here I would just go back in the B main, wait for the Molotov to disappear, flash the enemies in the canteen and generator, and then continue the push. Is this team composition good? It's terrible. Like, basically on Fracture, the best team composition is Killjoy, Breach, Brimstone, Raze, and fifth agent can be optional. Like, it can be Sage, it can be Jet, it can be Chamber, maybe some kind of second initiator. Like, it's really up to you. On which maps is Sage ideal then? Sage is important on split. On bind. Split bind. Split bind. Sage. Haven. Haven split bind. Pearl. Fracture is okay. I don't know. Like, I mean, on every map, Sage is like okay. Like, I mean, she's a. But Sage is a shit agent for solo queue grind. Like, if I was playing Sage from close beta, I would be a hard stack Immortal 3 player probably. Now, this play that you did here is exactly what we were talking about previously. Like, really, try not to go for the aggressive plays and aggressive peaks if you have the economy and numbers advantage over the enemies. Like, this play was so unnecessary from you and so risky for no reason. Like, for this type of a play, I'm only gonna go if I'm in the numbers disadvantage or economy disadvantage. Otherwise, you should just play safe, play the regular post plant, make sure that you're refragging your allies, and that's it. Especially, I will never hunt the kills in Valorant unless I built very strong economy for myself and for my team. The only time I'm truly hunting the kills and I don't give a fuck is if I know that I won the round and I know that my economy is stable. What is a stable economy? Stable economy is, you know, you can die, you can lose the next 3 rounds and still have a full buy. That is a stable economy. Like, you know, this peak was such an... You know, you could have just played this more disciplined, let's be honest. In this scenario here, because you teleported in an open area of the map here, you could have just went into the generator position and just play there. Play on the contact of your teammates, refrag them, because now by you losing the life there, you are giving the weapon to the enemies, and only God knows in a gold lobby how your teammates are gonna play this post plant.
Let's make some chaos.
Could you do an Astra guide, please? Listen, guys, when it comes to the agents, like, I'm gonna make the rank playbooks for every single character. Tomorrow, on Saturday and Sunday, I'm finally finishing the Jet. Jet is fully completed for the current active maps. From the Monday, I'm starting with the Omen. I'm gonna finish the Omen until August. In August, I'm gonna finish the race completely. And from August, we're also gonna start unranked to Immortal series with a new agent. Tomorrow, probably, I'm going to make a poll on my Discord server. Which agent you want to see next? I had a lot of fun with Raze, I'm not gonna lie. And Raze is gonna be one of my main agents to get Radiant, like, the next time I play on my main account.
There.
I'm gonna flash out.
Yes.
Okay. Yo! Silalem, thank you all for the prime sub, man. 29 months together, brother. Thank you for scamming Jeff Bezos. Bulldog! Partner Bulldog. All good, all good, man. Listen, another tip for you. Free tip that will save you so many rounds and save your teammates. If you notice in solo queue that your teammates are pushing this area of the map, and this area of the map, and this area of the map, by just peeking the enemies and running like a monkeys without any flash utility, without any proper pathing, movement, anything, use a flash. Waste your Omen flash just so that your teammates are living a happy life. Like, if I notice that my teammates are not doing a stun, flash, anything to clear these areas of the maps, don't risk it. It's totally fine for you to use a flash from here to there, like this. Absolutely fine. It's totally fine for you to use a flash like this into the B main area of the map. It's totally fine for you to flash this right here as your teammates are pushing into the actually, you know, this flash you can do in multiple different, depending where you think enemies are. You can do it like that. You can do it like this. But I would never, ever in my life risk the life of my teammates like you're doing. Like, I would try to support them, you know, pushing these main areas of the maps. Like, every single death that your teammates take here, you can prevent. Also, flashing the dish is fine. You know, like, if you think the enemies are dish, yeah, sure, like, you can try to reach this position and flash the enemies in the dish. Or maybe from this spot, you can flash the enemies there, let your teammates push in. In essence, pay attention how your teammates are moving through these main areas of the maps and whether or not they're using some kind of a utility. It is a huge mistake by your Reyna right here that she is not using a flash. A huge mistake. Like, whenever I'm playing Reyna on Fracture, like, you want to either use your flash from this wall right here, there, or you just want to pop the flash, you know, from here to there, and then go for the peak. Like, there needs to be some kind of a utility in these main areas of the map so that we can safely cross these positions without losing any numbers.
Shadows traveling.
Ooh. Oof, I would, like, you know, listen. When you want to use the Omen teleport, to teleport somewhere on the bomb site, to make the sandwich of the enemies, really make sure that you're using the teleport at the same moment of time as your teammates are pushing the bomb site. You know, this teleport here that he did was okay. It's not that, it's fine. You know, like, it's okay teleport. Like, I would do it also sometimes. This is maybe the best position where you can teleport with Omen to make the sandwich out of the enemies. But I would use this teleport when my teammates are here. When my teammates are here. When they're already pressuring the enemies on the site. And I would use my ultimate as a mental pressure tool to fuck up the enemy's minimap and to fuck up the enemy's, you know, focus on my teammates and me as well. Like, and especially with a spike committing to this teleport, like, this was a huge problem. Like, first, what I would do here is I would deploy the smokes for my allies. I would flash the enemies on the site and then maybe use my ultimate on the bomb site to make the sandwich of the enemies. Like, here, only the Great Lord helped you, basically. That these enemies are terrible. I'm Scar, man. I already responded, like, literally. On Fracture, the absolutely best team composition is Brimstone, Raze, Breach, Killjoy, and the 5th agent. It can be whatever the fuck you want. It can be Cypher, it can be Initiator, it can be Duelist, Chamber, Sage, whatever you want to play.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. I'm really surprised that you lived a happy life here, but, you know, this ain't good. This ain't it, man. And listen, when you're using the... Okay, the smoke setup was good in this round. The smoke setup was good because the Reyna was actually pushing through the sand area of the map, and she said at the start of the round that she's gonna push the sand, so this smoke is great. Good smoke setup. Everything was fine, except that teleport. This is how Charlatan is doing his reveals with Fade. This is my reveal on a defender side, guys. Guys playing against me, bro.
Spike dropped. Reloading. Bomb buddy out. I have this spike.
Yo, Sally MD, thank you all for the Prime Gaming sub and thank you for scamming Jeff Bezos, brother. Okay, listen. Hello. Listen, another big brain. It's not big brain tip. It's a common sense. Why is it very important for you to keep the proper distance between yourself and your duelist? Obviously, to play on the, you know, like refrag potential, but also when you have Jet in the team. Like, whenever I'm playing with a Jet on the attacker side, she is maybe one of my primary focuses when I'm playing Omen. Because I can use my default utility and her smokes and aggressive plays to actually outplay the enemies. Like, I don't need to use any aggressive smoke or any aggressive outplay to close the distance with the enemies. My Jet is dashing in with a smoke. I just teleport in her smoke. From her smoke, I can teleport somewhere else. That's it. Enemies are GG. Even if I don't teleport, enemies will never expect me and Jet peeking from the same smoke. Like, really, when you're playing with Omen, maining Omen, and playing with a Jet in the same team, try to prioritize your Jet as a main teammate that you want to support.
Stealing sight.
Face your feet.
Ooh, that teleport was risky as fuck again, man. Like, I don't know, like these TPs that you're doing are way too random, and you know, you will never really. Bro, what the fuck is in my mouth? Sorry guys, too much cock sucking. You will never really see me teleport in my smokes like this. You know, like every single play that I do is a very well constructed play based on the timings, and I always make sure that I have some kind of a safety. Like, teleporting in this smoke is a bit of a Sudoku. Like, you don't know if, you know, enemies are inside of the smoke, how many enemies are there, when are they gonna push in. Like, this is very risky, unnecessary risky TP. Maybe he wanted to dodge the Fade Ultimate. Your chances of dodging the Fade Ultimate with a TP is quite low. Same as the Breach stun. It's not worth doing. Like, literally, it's not worth wasting your teleport to dodge it. Like, chances are, you know, like 10% that you're gonna dodge that utility. You need to pick such a small timing that I don't even bother with it, to be honest.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah. That must be canteens, probably, I don't know.
Flawless.
Oh, she's tower, what the fuck?
Now that was the work of fingers. Multiple.
Listen, so basically, you know, how my aggressive, like, what is the difference between mine and yours aggressive play? Like, this is me when I want to do some kind of an aggression on the B side. So, I'll do a smoke here. I always think 2 steps ahead. My teammates are kind of bad with pushing the bomb sites. My teammates are aggressive, but they are just dying like potatoes. And I need to open the bomb site for them. Okay. I realize that my teammates are bad. I need to push before they push in. And I want to play on refresh potential. I'm going to place a smoke here. A smoke here. Like this. Flash inside of the smoke. And teleport in this corner. By teleporting in this corner, I'm dodging the enemy that is flashed in the smoke, while in the same time supporting my teammates with the smoke. Maybe it's not the best smoke in the world, but if my teammates are already bad with pushing the bomb site, they don't deserve a smoke. And I need to play on my own, you know, basically on my own potential to open the site. And by creating that cubby location there, I can safely teleport in that position without being in a vision of enemies. And then from this position, I can just pick the enemies there, here, enter the site, kill that guy, etc, etc. Like, you will never see me ever, like, you know, do some kind of a TP like this. Unless I'm 90% certain that enemies are not in that smoke. What do you think of using a one-way for the generator? The problem is, like, when your teammates are pushing onto the tower and site, like, they are in a crossfire, you know, like, they need to be aware of this angle, and only Valorant gods know if they're gonna be aware of it. And also, when you drop this one way, who guarantees you that enemy chamber, Jet, and Raze are not sitting in this smoke and waiting for some kind of a timing to do this? It's way too much of a risk. In my opinion, it's not worth it at all. Like, I would never do it, to be honest. The only one way that is worth doing is when you're playing a post plant, you know, like, and you know that enemies are CT, you have a one-way right here on the rails, up here, and you can just, you know, block the enemy's push. Or a one-way up here on the rails there. Like, those are the only one-ways I use, but just to block the enemy's push, like, when I already take the side control. ATD Jet, welcome to stream, baby.
Shadows traveling. Cover going out.
You know, like, I don't know how many times I need to repeat this to my community and everyone that I'm VOD reviewing. Like, play Valorant with a pre-assumption. I don't know how to write assumption. That enemies can be anywhere and everywhere. Like, it doesn't matter how many kills my teammates take. It doesn't matter how many teammates are going in front of me. It doesn't matter what my teammates are doing. I will clear every single possible angle in a proper way, in a proper manner, no matter what. Like, simply because you cannot trust your teammates with their utility and with their angle clearing that they're gonna do it. It is simply not worth it to risk something like that. Like, even in Radiant lobbies, I see that sometimes my teammates, like, they don't give a shit. You know, like they kind of clear the angle, but not really. You know, they are lazy with angle clearing. And because of that, because a lot of players are playing on the automatic pilot mode, like, just, you know, make sure that every single position, every single angle, enemy can be there. Like, if I'm pushing here, my teammates are pushing through the sand. No problem, they're pushing through the sand. Obviously, I will be giving them the smoke. Up here, smoke. Up here, that's all good. If I'm pushing through here, doing this, doing this, doing this, jump spotting the enemies in A main, maybe spamming that box a bit, clearing that angle, pushing to the side with my teammates that are pushing through the sand and drop. Anyways, when you're carrying the spike, I would really try to move together with my teammates. Like, no matter what. Like, even without the A main area of the map, it's fine. Like, just when you're pushing without the A main area of the map, just pre-assume that enemies can be there and that they're maybe there. And when you're planting the spike, just be aware that, you know, clear that area of the map later. Like, this was a really stupid death.
Spike down.
Okay. Deadlock has the ultimate. Guys, we need to do a gamble on the stream. We need to do a gamble on the stream. Listen, start a prediction. Is Deadlock going to hit her ultimate? Yes? No? Is the gold 2 Deadlock going to hit someone with the ultimate? I cannot wait to see this shit. Yes, and nobody will shoot. This was a bit lucky, like, that was a very lucky shot, to be honest. Like, that jet is NPC. I don't know what you and Reyna are doing. You're playing the hoop hop, like, I don't know how you call that on English. I call it hoop hop on English, but I don't know how it's called. Essentially, like, you know, if you're splitting the B side, you need to be ready for the B main push. Because whenever you're pushing the B main area of the map, essentially, you always want to do two things. First thing is, you're either holding the enemy's push by using this pixel angle here, bam, trying to delete the enemy there, or you're pushing fast towards this position and prioritizing this pathing right here before the enemy even peeks you there. And if the enemy goes for the peek, you can just do a wide swing, so surprise that enemy and take a kill. Like, you will never see me in my life peeking this area of the map and holding it like this, or God forbid, doing this type of a swing. Because when you do this type of a swing, enemies here are always in an advantage over you. Why? Because they can have much better crosshair placement and much better angle perception advantage over you. And you need to guess with your crosshair placement. Is the enemy on the stair right here? Right there? Is he all the way up here? Is Charlatan all the way there, you know, holding you with this pixel angle with an op and deleting you there? You never know. So it is not worth it. Generally speaking, when you're pushing through these main areas of the maps, it's always good to have some kind of a utility. You will see that in my Race to Immortal series, you will see that sometimes what I do when I notice that my teammates are not using any utility to clear the main area of the map. Okay, we're pushing A main. No problem. Fuck it. Bam. Send it. You know, I don't want to see enemies there. I don't want the enemy jet to kill me there with the operator. I'm pushing B main area of the map. Fuck it. Send it. I'm pushing here, taking the space. I'm ready to push into the site, you know?
Go. Shadows traveling. Cover going out.
There.
One more,
Stealing sight.
My territory.
Guys, did we lose the bet? Did you lose the bet? No, it's on the Omen, bro. You lost it, boys. You lost it. You lost it. You lost it. It was on the Omen, bro. Plot twist.
Now.
Listen. Okay. Quick tip here. When your push gets stopped in Valorant, guys, it is completely fine to reset for the second push. Like, if you deployed your smokes, your utility, Killjoy ultimate, and something is stopping you to push into the bomb site, or your push got delayed, it is completely fine to reset yourself and essentially just reorganize yourself for the second push. Like, you don't need to force the push this much, especially not with a spike. If I saw this deadlock wall here, and I saw that my teammates are dying in the arcade, go into the arcade, regroup as 4. Great, we have a deadlock wall, so the enemies cannot be behind us through the B main, and just push as 4 through the arcade after like maybe 20 or 30 seconds. It's always good to cut the noise, make the enemies overthink, and, you know, make some kind of a play together later on.
wait.
I think one of the mistakes that you're doing quite a lot, like you're making way too many rushed out game decisions. I feel that you're not thinking that much when you're going for some kind of a play. Like, you're just sending it. You're like, I'm gonna TP here. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck where my teammates are. Like, you know, like maybe there's 5 enemies looking at me on the B set right now. Try the steps. You know, like, think of it. Reassess the situation. Look at the minimap. Like, don't autopilot, you know. Like, try to pick up perfect moment of time to teleport. Like, see what your teammates are doing in the arcade. They are dying. They slow their push down. Let's slow down our push as well. We are 4 versus 4. We don't need to rush things out. Enemies have a low economy. Enemies are terrible. We're winning 6-1. You know.
Rip the light from them.
Flash, amen.
Shadows traveling.
Ooh, one more tip. I just noticed this shit. Okay, go into the minimap. Go into the settings. So go into the settings. Go to general. Go into map. And enable minimap vision cones. This is a very important setting. Because with this setting, you know which angles your teammates are covering and in which direction they're looking at. And also, you know whether or not your teammates have some kind of a smoke in front of them, and whether or not they can see that specific angle. Like, this is a very important setting, you know? It's this shit. It is this shit right here, you know? Then if your teammates have the smoke, now you see what your teammates don't see, essentially.
Shadows traveling.
Still inside.
Shadows traveling.
Battle out.
Listen, if you want to do this type of plays, like, I recommend you give the spike to your teammates and then go for these plays. But this type of plays are never worth it unless your teammates are close to the bomb site and you're making the sandwich out of the enemies. Like, this is way too much risky play. It is not supported by any utility and any presence or pressure. Like, this is a brain dead, you know, play. I would categorize it as a bad. But, if you're using the ultimate here as an information tool to reveal the enemies, that is fine. If that was your idea, which I kinda doubt, that's okay. Fine.
Huge grenade.
But, once again, when you're pushing through an area of the map where your teammates didn't push, where enemies can be anywhere, please clear every single angle and every single possible corner where the enemies can be at that moment of time.
You look at me, you piece of shit.
Oh,
On flank.
okay.
I'm kidding you.
Here.
Jet can be behind us.
No.
She's not. Okay, guys, what is the mistake of the enemy jet? The mistake of the enemy jet is your location gets revealed. You're keeping your location a secret, no matter what. Like, I don't care if you're playing as, I don't know, shorty, sheriff, whatever the fuck you're doing. You cannot stay in the same position where the enemies already know your location, especially not in a 5v3 scenario. If I was playing jet here, brother, I would already be smoking this, crossing into the main, and trying to isolate gunfights. You cannot, you know, stay there and be like, Amen odore, amen odore.
Amen. Lunch, lunch, la 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 la.
Like, what the fuck, Jet, bro? Move your ass.
Hey, Raze, come
Careful drop.
And the Jet messed up my autopilot plans.
give you a little kiss, okay?
Cover going out.
Drop.
Also, you know, like, just as a side tip, side note, where you plant a spike with Omen is very important. Like, you always want to plant the spike somewhere where you can... I mean, in this round, it doesn't matter. But generally speaking, when I'm playing Omen, I really pay attention where I'm planting the spikes. Like, if I'm planting the spike for the aiming area of the map, it's always going to be here or there. So that I can use a one-way here, one-way here, and that's it, you know. Enemies are Gigeroni, Migeroni. Like, if I'm planting the spike on the B side, once again, I'll plant it somewhere where I can use a one-way. Like, you know, closer to the walls. Like, on this wall here, you can just do this. Bam. And I have a one-way for that. On this wall here, we have a one-way that goes all the way up here. And if the spike is planted there, I can just use this. Bam. Essentially, on every single map, like, you know, I make sure that I plant the spikes where I can utilize one-ways in the post-plant. It doesn't matter, in this round, we just stomp the enemies. Tagged? Oh. In the post-plant, cover the angles that your teammates are not covering. That is the #1 rule. Nobody's watching aim-in. Someone can be aim-in. We don't know. Watch the aim-in.
Cover going out.
Still someone can be aiming. We need that gun out. We need that gun out. Ooh.
Oi!
Where is the fade? Where's the fade? Oh, she saved. Okay. Okay.
This will be towards at least one of us.
Ooh, Cypher disconnected, guys. Bro, this Geiger meter, like this nuclear reactor, is gonna rip my ears apart.
Get out of my.
There was a trap in main. Not really. Where was the trap? You mean this shit here? Bro, like, first of all, this trip is jumpable. Like, enemies can jump over this trip. I mean, enemies don't know that, but we know that. And second of all, they can use the ropes. They could have used the ropes from the, you know, arcade dish to here. You never know.
Oi.
Like, when I'm playing the game, I always think... Maybe that's why I play Valorant so good. Because I'm very pessimistic when I'm playing video games. Like, I'm always playing video games with a pre-assumption that my teammates are retarded and that I need to control the outcome of my rounds to some degree, and that enemies can be anywhere, everywhere, and I'm always thinking about the worst possible outcomes for that specific round. Like, where the enemies can be, what they can do to fuck up my round. But also, one of the reasons is that I studied so many different scenarios in ranked solo queue. You know, like, game is very boring for me, like, in high-low lobbies. Like, I have much more success winning games in high-low lobbies than in Ascendant, Diamond, or Silver, you know, like, I mean, literally, in these lobbies, like, game is a bit more interesting because it's like, you know, people do random stuff. But in Immortal and Radiant, like, everyone is, like, doing the same shit 24/7. Did you finish the Immortal today? Nope. We need 2 wins and we're gonna finish tomorrow, probably. Charlatan, do you play keyboard tilted 45-90 degree? I would say... it is... 30-40? or as it says, like, me at 7-18 kills thinking my teammates are retards. True.
Their backs will be towards at least one.
No, but you need to get me, like, I don't think that I'm better player than my teammates. I just feel that, you know, I don't play the game with an ego. I just play the game with a pre-assumption that, you know, I need to correct the mistake that my teammates are gonna make. And I don't say that I'm playing a perfect gameplay, like, nobody is perfect. Like, I mean, I'm terrible in some regions of my gameplay. But the reason why I'm terrible is because I don't need to train to reach Radiant. Like, I don't know, I just realized that this game is so easy to get Radiant that I don't need any training. You know, I just feel that if you're not playing Valorant with pessimism, and you're not starting your matches with a mindset, I want to control the outcome of this match, I want to compensate the mistake of my teammates, and you think that you're gonna play in some kind of perfect environment, you're deeply wrong. Like, that's why I hate, like, when I hear from other coaches, like, oh, you need to communicate, you need to IGL 24/7, you need to assume that this is an esports environment. Like, yeah. You know, like, I'm gonna showcase you my esports examples in every single series in row that I did, you know. Like, my esports, the only thing that I'm professional at is losing my mental health from Turkish players that are surrendering it, you know, like, doing stupid shit. And then not only Turkish, like, EU players in general, like are fucked up. Just a second, guys, you know, like, we're Valorant is an indie dev company. They cannot run the servers for more than 1 hour and 30 minutes. So sorry, guys, that I always mention Turkish players, like, but I don't know, like, you know, there is a stereotype that Turkish players are not toxic, but to be honest, like, Turkish players were the least toxic players that I played with, to be honest. Yeah, but it's not Turkish and German, like. Very rarely I actually hear Oras Puchuchu and stuff like that. Or, you Scheiße! Schneller, Charlatan! Push bomb site! That's my German impression, you know, like. Very bad, very bad, very bad.
This will not take long. My ultimate is ready.
30 seconds left.
Turkish people are wholesome, I was lied. As I said, like, I played on Istanbul servers like 5 or 6 times. And Turkish people were actually nice, you know? But the whole EU region has a lot of mentally ill people. I don't know, you know. It's region, it's not the nation.
Yes.
Get out of my way!
Ooh, listen. Whenever you see that the Jet ultimate has a low economy on Fracture, and you think she might be doing the ultimate, always, you know, your crosshair is here, or your crosshair is here. You know, you're taking this location and looking there, or this location looking there. And you're emphasizing to your teammates that she can pick this and this. Hold these 2 angles for 5 seconds, delete the enemy Jet, and that's it. Because it is the 2 most common angles from which Jet players are gonna pick you. Maybe not in gold, but probably diamond, platinum, ascendant, I don't know. Woo! She was going for the peak! Big brain charlatan! You know, I don't know, I take such an easy kills when it comes to these, you know, these 2 peaks. Like, more common peak that you're gonna see is the one here. Like, you will see in my, you know, Unranked to Immortal series, like, whenever I was playing Fracture against the Jet player, I always tell to my teammates, hey guys, come with me for a second. Look up there. Bam. Insta delete.
There.
They know we're big. You wanna do
Meine Deutschland sehr gut. Ja, ja. Ich spreche Deutschland. Ich verstehe.
a sneaky little rotate race?
Coming.
Yo, brother, motherfather.
Shadows traveling.
Nice smoke, Kironi. Okay, another tip when you're playing controllers in general. Like, if you're playing controllers, like, don't do your smokes before we are ready for the push. If you do your smokes way too soon, then enemies are gonna get ready for your push. They're gonna start their rotations. Unless you're faking the enemies, it's absolutely stupid to do the smokes this fast. Like in this example, I will be doing my smokes as the enemy smoke is disappearing and as my teammates are getting ready to push the site. You did your smokes way too early, which gave the enemies an indicator that you might be pushing the A site. And in this example, the smoke placement is terrible. Like if your teammates are only pushing through the A main area of the map here. Bam. 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 This is your setup on A site. Smoke screen, taking only A site control, planting the spike, that's it. You don't need rest of the map. Fight for it later. Ehrenmann Charlatan. Ja, ja, ich liebe deine Spiel. Ja.
Shadows traveling.
Fufu, brother, mother, father. Okay, listen. At least, do me one favor and try to fix this in your gameplay. At least when you want to go for these type of aggressive plays, try to go for the plays with flash. You know, because I never saw you use paranoia once in this gameplay. Like, try to use it more before you go for the play to at least support your teammates, clear some angles so that your play potentially works. Like in this example here, for an example, you know, flash the, I don't know, bottom of the site, bam, and teleport here. And pray to God that enemies are not in that corner, for an example. Like, this play is much better than just randomly, bam. And now if the enemy is here, Amenodori. Amenodori. If the enemy is there, something, I don't know. You get the point. So, flash, delete some of the angles from which enemies can actually kill you. And to be honest, the safest position where you can teleport with Omen is teleporting like this. It is a bit risky teleport because you're overexposing yourself to the enemies here, but it's worth a try if you don't have the smokes and, you know, if you want to outplay the enemies. At the end of the day, you can just flash the enemies on the stairs like this, bam, and maybe teleport, you know, at the back of the site, and that's it. Maybe, I don't know. By the way, whenever you're teleporting into this position or reaching this position, you can easily clear this spot from this position. So basically, whenever I do aggressive play with a Jet or any character and I reach the bottom of the site, I always make sure that I clear the top from the bottom. And this, you know, this is just the timing of the TP. Like, I was wondering why you missed the teleport, but it was the timing. Oh, this is actually a very important topic. Whenever you're doing the jump teleport with Omen, your... one guy in the chat said you're from Czech Republic for sure. I saw you give you money to girls on the street. No, I'm from Romania, man. Can't you tell? Bro, like... Don't you know? Don't you hear it? You don't hear that? Okay, we're doing VOD review, man. Like, Andrew. Later, bro. Okay, listen. Whenever you're teleporting... whenever you're teleporting, like, with Omen, using the Shrouded Steps, your crosshair placement... Andrew Tate is coming. Your crosshair placement is very important with the Shrouded Steps. That is why sometimes you're missing your teleports. So, if I want to teleport there, my crosshair placement needs to be below this high ground right here. So, if I want to teleport in that cabin spot, I need to do this. But, if you place your crosshair here, while you're jumping, and you do this. GG, well played, Cool Tigers. Ooh, Cypher disconnected. Ooh, is this a lost match? On God, 80% of jets I get in fracture go die before I break Cypher trip, before I dog and... you know, regular jet gameplay. If your teammates leave the match, I think the best idea on the attacker's side is just to play together. Or play default and try to search the picks. But in this example, because enemies are absolute dogs, cats, mouses, mice, I don't know, I would just play with the team. Like, four-man arcade push and that's it. It says on Discord I won the giveaway. How do I claim it? Also, what were the prizes? You won $20 Valorant points. I'm gonna contact you after the stream, man. Good job. Sir Dam, like, he purchased $5 tier 1 sub on Discord, which granted him 3x chances to win a giveaway, and he got a profit of $20. Like, the guy fucking scammed me, bro. Like, literally. Good night, the dream machine. The dream chasing, actually. Sorry, man. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, if your teammates leave the match and enemies are dog shit, just play together. You know, like this is still winnable. Like, this 4v5 is winnable because enemies are absolute dogs, and we could have just pushed this forward. You know, arcade played on the reframe potential, and that's it. Okay, we went onto the A. Ooh, bring me ultimate, huh? As I've said, like this is really not worth it. This is really not like tanking this damage is really not worth it. Twitch takes 50%, right? Twitch takes maybe 60%. I don't know anymore. Like 100%. Like the money I'm getting from Twitch is zero. Like and YouTube as well, to be honest. Like okay.
Hey.
If I'm the solo initiator, who is better on this map? Breach or Sky? Breach, 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 breach.
Cover going out. Shadows traveling.
Order of the smokes needs to be better. And you need to be a bit more aggressive and make sure that you're abusing your jet smokes and aggressive plays to teleport into the jet smoke. You have a huge latency between you and your most aggressive teammate. You need to start using your smokes as your teammates are pushing in.
Multiple enemies B. Grenade!
Spike planted.
I don't know what to get out of this round, to be honest. When is the next giveaway? 30 more subs, something like that. Like, the first smoke should have been a generator smoke. The second smoke should have been canteen smoke. You should have used your execute of your jet to teleport into her smoke and help her with a reefer potential.
Multiple enemies B.
Enemies are pushing you on the minimap. You have a paranoia, and instead of flashing the enemies, you hide and you go for the plant. I told you already, if the enemies can be on the bomb site, if the enemies are fighting your teammates, support your teammates with everything. Flash, paranoia, gunfight, anything. Fight with your allies. Here, if I saw that a Brimstone and Reyna are there, bam! Paranoia in face, brother. And this is what we call unlucky. I mean, there's no way I would have known that, you know, Fade is on tower. Like, you know, I can lie to you guys. This teleport was very risky, blah, blah, blah. Like, leave me alone, man. Like, I would have done the same shit probably. Like, ooh, Cypher is back. Nice. Now we're gonna win this match, right? Okay. Defender side of Fracture. Aim and control. Very important. In almost every single round, you should be deploying some kind of a smoke for your teammates to control the aim and area of the map. It doesn't matter where the hell you're playing. You should be giving your teammates either a one-way, this smoke, or this smoke, depending on the different scenarios. One-way is my favorite because it really, you know, stops the enemy push and it's a one-way smoke. Like, do I need to explain it more? Now, when it comes to your positioning, like, you should prioritize the defense of main, dish, and arcade area of the map and search for some kind of a semi-aggressive picks and plays here. In the B main area of the map, you should be aggressing only together with your teammates and when your teammates want to do something like that. Now, playing passively on Fracture is absolutely stupid. Like, basically, giving enemies all of this space here, and here, without any gunfights or fights or contesting them or information is the worst thing you can do. So basically, tucking yourself into the bomb sites is stupido. Now, the best first round strategy on Fracture, I've explained enormous amount of times, but I'm going to explain it one more time, is you tell two of your teammates to play B site, one of your teammates to get a contact with the enemies in the A main area of the map. He doesn't need to fight the enemies, just listen to the enemy's footsteps. And you tell one of your teammates to push slow the dish area of the map. Shh. Why are we doing this? Multiple different reasons. First reason is enemies will never expect two of you guys. Robin, thank you for the raid. Enemies will never expect two of you guys in that dish area of the map. Never. Like, that play, like, who the fuck is gonna expect two of you guys peeking and pushing dish together? Nobody. Nobody plays like that. Second reason is, on this map, you don't know what enemies are going to do in the first round. And essentially, enemies have 4 choke points where they can easily fuck up your teammates, and playing passively is not worth it. So what I do in the first round is, you know, I'm playing Omen. I'm going to tell my Jet, maybe, you know, Jet, I don't know, someone. Jet, can you slowly push dish with me on the contact? I'm giving my teammate in the aim-in a one-way smoke. And in the first round on Fracture, you can buy Ghost, 2 smokes and a Shrouded Step. Classic Light Shield, 2 smokes, 2 Shrouded Steps. You can go with a Sheriff if you feel confident playing Sheriff, like, I don't know. The only thing I would avoid is classic Shorty strategy and Frenzy. Now, we're pushing the dish area of the map. What do we do? So we are slowly... So, round starts. Bam. We're doing this one way. Up there. And slowly pushing and playing on contact. Now, our teammate is yelling, hey guys, they're pushing A main area of the map. They're gonna fuck me up in the ass. No problem. No problem. You're gonna clear the dish area of the map fast. And then go back onto the A site. Support your teammate. And that's it. Now, your teammates don't get any contact in the A main area of the map. We're continuing the push. But an unexpected Cypher appears and he peeks you right here. Ba 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 ba. You and your Jet do the fight with the Cypher, and regardless of how that fight goes, whether or not you kill the Cypher or you don't kill him, if you think there is only one enemy there, push him, kill him, that's it. If you think there's multiple enemies there, fall back onto the site and play passively. If you don't see any enemies on A main and this area of the map, continue the slow push. Clear every single angle, and pre-assume that enemies are gonna push the B site. I'll be running here for a second, then going slowly again, and going for a fast lurk and fast flank behind the enemies, together with my teammate. If the enemies push the B site, they will never expect 2 of you guys this fast behind them, and if enemies just played slow push on A, fuck it. You know, if there's no enemies here or here, I'll just pull out my knife and rotate back to the tower and play on the tower. So that is the first round strategy on a defender side of Fracture. Let's see what he does. I just need to emphasize that main smoke, like smoking the main area of the map is very important. To slow down the enemy's push, to make the enemies waste some kind of a utility, you know, like aim and control is maybe the most important control on Fracture. If you sell the aim and control, and arcade control as well, like you sell the control of this and this, defending the B site and defending the A site becomes 2 times harder. Like, we need to apply some pressure. What is the best way to get out of low Immortal High Ascendant? I've been hardstuck the whole last episode. I don't know, man, like, you know, especially in Ascendant and Immortal Elo, like, players are very different amongst each other. And I cannot give you general tips, you know, like, based on your rank. I really need to see your gameplay to tell you what you should be doing. Because, you know, like, some Ascendant players are just mentally ill. Some players don't know any proper utility usage or proper setups. I've seen some Immortal players with terrible map knowledge and game knowledge. Like, some Immortal players with terrible mechanical skill. Like, everyone is different. Like, I mean, in this game, you can reach Immortal by not doing any... like, there's so many bad players in Immortal, basically. Like, that reached Immortal by luck. I don't know how the fuck they were boosted. I know both accounts. Nice support for your teammates, I must say, like, this round. I like it a lot. That smoke in the A main area of the map was really good. Really fast. Really good. This smoke is also a good smoke. I like this. I like your smoke setups. Like, they're not that bad. Very good that you're aware that enemies can push through the rope. That wall is terrible, I think. I think you can pass through that wall. Ooh. Ooh. Unlucky. Nice try, nice try. You know, when you're going for this type of play, you really need to wait for a perfect moment of time. And what is a perfect moment of time? The perfect moment of time is when the enemies are picking a fight with the enemies. Like when there is a lot of the gunshots, utility users being deployed, because your TP, the location from which you're teleporting is very fucking audible. You know, like, but the location to which you're teleporting to is almost inaudible. But in this example, you literally teleported in the, you know, it was very obvious. When you want to perform this type of outplays, you really need to wait, you know, for some kind of a contact between enemies and your teammates, some kind of a nade, flash, anything, you know, like that will cover up the sound of the TP. But I like the idea. I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have done something similar. Very, very similar.
Joe, guys.
Listen, guys. I'm so sorry, I'm dying, man. Woo! So, if you win the first round on Fracture, in the second round, I recommend you to play a Stinger, Heavy Shield, Shorty, and Utility. If you save the Sheriff from the first round, play the Sheriff with a Heavy Shield and Utility. And also Bulldog on this map is amazing. Basically, Stinger, Bulldog, Sheriff, or actually every single anti-eco weapon can work on this map depending on your playstyle. You can go with a Marshal and Shorty, Stinger and Shorty, you can go with a Sheriff, you can go with a Bulldog, or you can go with a Judge. Depends on what type of strategy and depends on your playstyle. I personally love to go with a Marshal and Shorty because I'm really good with fucking Shorty, and you know, when I'm playing the bonus round, I usually, you know, get at least like 1 or 2 kills for my team. You got a breach guide for Fracture. Check my second YouTube channel. Like, I don't know if I did any VOD reviews on breach. I think I did like 3 or 4 VOD reviews on breach. The channel is called like Charlatan VODs. You can find it on my main channel. I have like 52 VOD reviews uploaded there.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Okay. Sure, fine. Whatever. Your teammate's carried. Now, in this round, I would have played a pure bonus, you know, like, I mean, your teammates are playing a bonus round, they have a Marshals and shit like that. I would have just played a Sheriff. That's it, like, I would not buy a Bulldog. And I would save the money to buy the Operator in the 4th round. You really want to master playing op on this map. Like, literally abusing all of these off angles, pixel angles, like, everything that I'm doing on the map is, it's stupid. You know, like, basically, enemies are pushing the dish. You position yourself here, waiting for the enemies on 2 verticalities. Bam, take a kill. Bam, another kill. You can also hold this angle here. Bam, kill. Repositioning there. Bam, kill. You get the point. Like, there's so many good off angles and positions that you can abuse with any agent, to be honest. It's stupid. Like this here. Almost always guarantees me a kill. This off angle, very good off angle to hold the B main area of the map. Nobody has a good crosshair placement for this. Bam, easy kill. Teleporting onto the generator, easy kill. Easy kill. Especially in those low elo lobbies, taking kills with Operator is piece of cake. Like, people have like terrible utility usage, and the sooner you master op, it's gonna be better for your overall, you know, progress in Valorant. When you're playing with Bulldog, one huge tip that you should try to follow is avoid close range gunfights. The longer the range, the more powerful the Bulldog actually is. Because the full power of Bulldog is the burst fire, the ADS. And essentially, in the long-range gunfights, I would argue that Bulldog is maybe even more powerful than Vandal or Phantom in the lobbies below Immortal 1. Like, because people usually spray and burst fire a lot. They're not really at one-tap machines. And with Bulldog, you know, you do 2 burst fires in the enemy body, enemy is dead. One bullet to the head, 1 bullet to the body on any distance, enemy is dead. So, prioritize Bulldog a bit more, you know, like in a long-range gunfights. Bro, we are getting in the reactor, guys. Nuclear reactor time. Chernobyl, bro! Guess the rank, I already did it, man. Okay, so what was the point of this round? How would I position myself? Like in this round, I would not play on the side with the Bulldog. I would actually play on the generator. And I would be prioritizing this fight and this fight with the enemies. And then, you know, I take a kill, reposition, flash the enemies, take another kill, etc, etc.
Reyna climbing up. Tower,
Not bad
tower,
smoke.
tower. Omen,
Woo! Okay, not too shabby. Just the initial position that you chose to play with the Bulldog was terrible. Operator time? No, nope. Listen. One thing that you really need to pay attention on, like whenever you're starting a round, take a close look at the minimap and notice what your teammates are doing. Body posture of your teammates can tell you a lot what is the next plan for your allies. Like, if your jet is looking towards the barrier, right here, she is going for the peak in the B main area of the map. And the B main peak is one of the riskiest peaks that you can do on Fracture. If my jet is doing this on Fracture, and I'm playing Omen, I'm starting my round not on tower. I'm starting my round in the canteen with my with my flash out, pinging down there, placing my crosshair here, bam. Doing a smoke here, and essentially supporting my teammate. Body posture of your teammates and in which direction they're looking at that moment of time can tell you a lot what they're gonna do. Like, not only body posture of your teammates, but also body posture of your enemies as well. Can tell you, like, you know, where the rest of the enemies are. But anyways, you know, like, one of the biggest problems in these lobbies, like, is lack of aim and control. Like, you really need to prioritize aim and control in almost every single round. Like, it's so stupid to sell the aim and control without even trying to fight the enemies. Even in equal halberd rounds, you can fight for the control. Especially if you're playing someone like Omen. You can simply just, you know, I don't know, like, buy shorty, light shield, you know, at the start of the round, do a smoke here, go close to the doors. When the enemies are using the pop flashes, bam, you know, take a kill, get out. For an example, I don't know, like, you can figure out some outplays. This position right here, I would never hold statically in my life. Because enemies have a huge angle perception advantage over you if they're peeking you from the right side here. And they're going to see the tip of your gun, and they're going to see you much faster than you see them. And if they notice you on this location, they're going to rip your head apart. If you're holding... Sorry. If you're holding the arcade from the tower, I'll always be jump spotting it. I'm never going to be holding it statically. Like, it's always going to be jump spot, you know. bunny hopping, and when I see the enemies, I'll be swinging them or flashing them and then peeking them, etc, etc. Like, I'll be doing this, or if I already want to hold the arcade without the sound, I'll just be playing this position if my teammates are already watching B main, or I'll just be playing, you know, onto the generator, and that's it.
Steps.
Cover going out.
Okay.
Shadows traveling.
Okay. Okay, very good that we took a gun. I hope that we realized on the minimap that Fade literally dropped. Fade is in this corner right here stuck. We're gonna use a flash right now and kill the Fade, right? We're going to use a flash and kill the Fade before the enemies come out. Oh, never mind, we're
Spike down.
machine, bro!
One enemy remaining.
Fuck the Fade, bro! Very good. Very good. Even though, personally, you know, you don't know if the enemies are gonna peek. You didn't know that the enemies are gonna go out. Better game decision was, you know, just to flash that Fade, take a kill, make a numbers advantage. But you got a bit lucky that enemies, you know, were like, fuck it, let's send it. Rule number 1. Numero uno on Fracture. Enemies have the Killjoy ultimate. We're always fighting for the arcade or B main control, or doing some kind of a lurk and flank to counter her ultimate. Rule numero dos. Enemies have the breach ultimate. We need to pressure the enemies a bit more in B main and arcade as well. And we cannot play on the bomb sites at all. Rule numero tres. Enemies have the brimstone ultimate. We're never playing on the bomb sites, and we are never stuck on tower, on the site, or on the A site, for an example. Play in an open area of the map where you cannot get fucked by these 3 ultimates.
Steps A.
Let's pray for his teammates.
Reyna's pushing.
Cover going out.
In this round, like, this is exactly the problem of low elo players. Like, you guys really need to start taking the control of the A main area of the map and fighting for it. Smoke it, nade it, molotov it. Like, this allowed the enemies to take A main. If the enemies take A main, it's 2 times easier for them to push into the A site.
Cover going out.
Last player standing.
Yeah.
Spike planted.
That's just mechanics and reaction time, to be honest. By the way, like, during this VOD, I really feel that your mechanical skill is okay. You know, like, it's not that bad. Like, the crosshair placement mechanic. Like, I don't know, I was not that focused on your mechanics because they're, like, okay. You know, you're not clearing the angles properly. Sometimes you're not clearing the angles at all, and that is something that you should definitely focus on a lot. And slightly better crosshair placement. But overall mechanics, just reaction time is missing a bit. You know, your reactions reflexes, reaction time needs to be much better. But burst firing, tapping, like spraying, gunfights that you have taken, like, you know, it's quite okay. Like, some of the platinum and diamond players are aiming like this. As I said before I even started doing this VOD review, I really feel that you can go from gold 2 to diamond 1 if you just invest like 200 hours in one act. Like, just make sure that you play 3 matches per day, every single day, based on your performance and mechanical skill. I feel that you're already a diamond player, but you just don't know that. Brother, mother, father. But your positioning on the defender side is gruesome, man. Like, on the defender side, you cannot play the same position 24/7. Adapt to the enemies. Enemies destroyed your anal cavity on the A side 3 times in a row. What the fuck are we doing on the B side? Like if enemies push the A side 3 times in a row and they destroy my teammates, I'm playing A side. I'm doing the one-way smoke, controlling A main area of the map, flashing the enemies, killing them, end of the story.
They're like, they're pushing towards A.
Shadows traveling.
One enemy remaining.
You know, like on a defender side, you're terrible. Actually, I need to give it some you know, like on a defender side, like you need to control more the outcome of your rounds. Like you're just waiting to see what your teammates are gonna do, and you're like, you know, I'm not gonna do anything proactive. I'm not even thinking what the enemies are doing. I'm just gonna play this default position and that's it. Like you just need to invest your brain a bit more in a direction, like what I think enemies will do next, where the enemies are sexually destroying my teammates, where I need to, you know, like protect my allies. Like you're not adapting to enemies nor your teammates at all.
Spike down A.
How to practice crosshair placement? I'm already 2 hours into this VOD review. Tomorrow, ask me that question tomorrow. Like I really feel that you know, on the defender side, you need to learn like what are the good, bad, and optimal off angles, good, bad, and optimal common positions, and you need to be a bit more proactive, trying to support your teammates, trying to be there for them, trying to assist them. You know, like read the minimap, like read their body posture, what they're doing. Like you see in this round, your raise this time is like. You know, peeking the B main area of the map. She needs a flash. She needs a smoke. They're not gonna communicate to you. This is why I emphasize that in low elo lobbies, game knowledge, map awareness, and adaptiveness is so important. Like adaptiveness is the number 1 most important, like number 2 most important skill in Valorant. Number 1 is game knowledge.
Get out of my way.
Gratis pap. Parte jubileum. I have no idea, but probably like happy partnership. Thank you.
Sepsi.
Matrix, bro.
My territory, my room. I have the
What?
Cover going out.
my territory.
Oh no way, man. How did this pass through here? What? I thought that this projectile is much like thicker. I don't know, like I don't know how you got. What? Is that possible actually? How thick is this projectile of the deadlock?
Their death demands our attention. Hold them to their grave. Ultimate ready. Hold them. Nothing there. Ultimate ready.
Oh, so it doesn't have any thickness. It's just a one line.
Ready. Nothing there. Ultimate ready.
What the fuck, bro?
Nothing there. Ultimate ready. Nothing there. Ultimate ready. Nothing there. Ultimate ready.
But still, I like this deadlock did the ultimate from here.
Nothing there. Hold them to their grave. Ultimate ready. Hold them to their grave. Ultimate ready. Nothing there. Ultimate ready. Nothing there.
I don't know how that hits you.
30 seconds left.
Was that the ultimate?
Territory. My. I have them now.
I don't know. very it's very good play by your teammates to destroy the cocoon, and very good reaction by you to teleport. Very good. But you know, like if you already see that you know, deadlock is here, as one enemy is there, like you need to pre-assume that you know, there probably might be some enemies in the arcade that are already on tower. But okay, like you know, it's okay. It's okay. Like generally speaking, like I feel that on a defender side you have a bit problem of you know, you need to be more interesting with your positioning. Like just taking in comparison like my gameplay, like how many times you see me play the same position, you know, every single round. Like every single round I'm positioning like in a different way. I'm using different off angles and spots. Like you cannot start, you know, 12 rounds in a row on B tower. You need to be a bit more adaptive, like try to pressure the enemies, be more offensive, take some pixel angles, some you know, off-angle gunfights. Like you cannot just sit on tower and be like, no, this is my you know. Yeah, like sometimes I'm gonna play on tower if I like have a judge or a shorty or something like that, you know, to kill, take an easy kill, but still, this should not be your default 24/7 position. And holding this spot like this is very dangerous, because we have angle 1, angle 2. From the angle 2, enemies can delete you. But also on the angle 1 is not really good for us. This is a really bad positioning. I'm gonna explain you this through, you know, paint. So basically, right now, you're peeking this area of the map here. We have angle 1 here, angle 2 here. From angle 1, enemies can destroy you. But also on the angle 2, you have 2 different elevations from which enemies can kill you. So you cannot even have a good crosshair placement for the angle 2. And you're playing a position on which enemies can have a perfect crosshair placement to clear you. And holding this type of an angle, first of all, I think it's not worth it. Like, there's many better ways. Like, you can just hold the arcade like this. I feel that this is much better than what you're doing. Holding a pixel angle here. And now I'm aligning 2 angles into one. If the enemy is peeking from the closer wall, I'm ready for a fight. If the enemy is peeking from the further wall, I'm ready for a fight. And then I can just TP on the gen, take another kill. Or, you know, I'll be jump spotting the enemies. Or I'll be at least jiggle peeking the enemies and trying to, you know, do this. I'm not going to be holding this angle statically ever in my life. It's way too dangerous. Pull them to their grave. Reaction time, I guess. But anyways, like it's just, I don't know. I feel it is not worth holding the arcade from the tower position. Like it's not a good angle. Like it's not really working in your favor, and I deem this position as a bad position. Essentially, it's better to hold it from any other spot except the tower. Overall, not bad. Like I really feel that you have a huge potential to be a diamond player if you invest a bit more hours into the game, and if you fix the problems that we've discussed through this VOD review. I feel that you know, you have more than a great potential to be at bare minimum diamond 1. Like, even if you don't fix your mechanics at all, and if you just focus on fixing the gameplay problems that you had, and having a bit more better plan, you know, of what you want to do, how you want to use your utility, and you know, polishing out your positioning and movement in the way that I was explaining through this VOD review, I think that, you know, Diamond 2 is within the reach. And other than that, there is absolutely nothing else I can say, or else I'm gonna die. By the way, guys, if you want to get coached by me, join my Discord server. My private sessions are much better than this shit. Like, you know, this is just a basic free VOD review. Like, it is a giveaway. But anyways, it is 2 hours and 15 minutes. If you want to submit your clips for Guess the Rank, join my Discord server as well. And essentially, that's it for this VOD review.